I say this every time I do a prepositions video, but it's because it's true and it always will be true. Prepositions are one of the hardest things to master, no matter what level of English you're at. If you're just starting, if you're an intermediate, or even if you are at that advanced level, prepositions can be very difficult because there is no rule with prepositions. There is no formation, no pattern to follow. You just have to remember which preposition follows which verb. And even as a teacher, sometimes when a student asks, should it be at or by or with or to, I have to question myself before I give that answer. Because as a native English speaker, you just use the prepositions naturally. But of course, when you're learning English, it can be very difficult to remember all of the prepositions and all of the verbs connected to that preposition. So today I want to give you 15 phrasal verbs that you will come across at some point in the office, in the workplace, in business English. So let's get straight into it today. Our first one, or first two I should say, are sign in versus sign up. Now sign in is when you enter a location and you register your being there. You recognize I am here, I'm signing in. Some places need you to do this for safety, security reasons. If there's a fire, they need to know how many people are in the building. But often it's so that your workplace can register the hours that you do in a week. So some businesses, they use a thumbprint or a fingerprint. Personally, I hate this approach because it's more like being in a prison or being arrested than signing into work. Some places use a time card. Some just use the traditional notebook and you write your name and the time you clocked in, the time you signed in. And now with the introduction of technology and remote working, a lot of businesses have software on your computer that registers when you sign in and when you sign out. Now, what's the difference between sign in and sign up? Well, sign up identifies that this is something that you don't do all the time. It's not something you are required to do. To sign up for something is almost similar to volunteer. You're agreeing to give your time to something. Your free time, an hour of your day, time out of your work hours. So for example, maybe your office is organizing a football team or a badminton team, and you can sign up for that because the idea is you don't have to sign in. You're not required to go to this, but if you want to, you can. So to sign up is a decision you make to attend something. But to sign in is something that you need to do to register that you are there, you are ready, you are working. So let's move on to our next phrasal verb or verb with matching preposition, which is determine if. Determine if. Now we can use determine alone. It doesn't always have to have the preposition if. For example, you might say, we need to determine what the goals are for this month. We need to determine what our budget is this year. But when we use determine if, it's because we don't have that information. We are asking a question. We need some extra information. For example, we need to determine if the client is paying monthly or in one go. We need to determine if the new website is working properly. We need to determine if our customers want a new product. So when you don't have the information, you're trying to find out that information, you're asking questions, we would always use determine if. When we use it with goals or targets or figures or a specific piece of information that you need to set, we would say determine what. For example, I need to determine what my students' goals are, but I need to determine if my student wants to learn English. Let someone in. Let in. Now, if you work in an office building that has a reception area and people have to call up and say, I'm here to see Catherine, I'm here to see this person, when you're talking about allowing them to enter the office, allowing them to enter the building, you would say, let in. Can you let in Sarah? She's waiting downstairs. Can you let in the IT technician? He's in reception. Can you let the new client in? They are waiting in reception. Let in refers to giving someone permission, allowing them to enter your office, your building. Discuss with or discuss as. Now, discuss as we use with plural nouns like team, group, etc. So we might say we need to discuss as a team. We need to discuss as a group. We need to discuss as a class. When we have a group, a collection of people that need to discuss something, we would say discuss as. However, if you want to talk about a person, a client, a manager, a boss, a customer, we would say discuss with. And we can separate the two and say, I need to discuss this with the manager. I need to discuss our daily targets with the team. Now notice I say with the team, but earlier I said plural nouns we use as. That's because when we use discuss as, we mean everybody gets to talk about it. Everybody gets to discuss this, put their input in, give their opinion. But when I say discuss with the team, that's probably because I am the project lead, or I am the manager, I am the team lead, and I am discussing this with my team, but they don't really get an opinion. So we use discuss with when it's one person or one entity that we are talking to, or when you are giving information to a group of people that is maybe lower than you or just has to listen to what you're saying. I don't like using the term lower than you, but for you to understand what I mean, your manager is not going to discuss the daily targets with you as a team because he's already or she's already set the daily targets. So this isn't something you get to put input into. This is something you have to listen to and say, yes, okay, we can do that. So discuss as suggests many people are communicating and deciding together. Discuss with is something either you and one other person, the client, the customer, the boss, or it's information that you need to give to other people that are maybe your subordinates, are your team, are your employees. Delegate to. And this can be separated, so you delegate something to, but we always delegate to. I have too much work this week. I'm going to delegate some of my tasks to my colleague. I can see we have a lot to do in order to meet our goal this month. I think I need to delegate aspects of this project to my team. Okay, team, we have our monthly targets. I'm going to delegate different tasks to each of you. Negotiate with. Negotiate with. I've gone through the word negotiate in one of my other business English videos. And to negotiate means to come up with a solution together. Maybe it's not the perfect solution, but it's a middle ground. I say I want 100, you say you can only do 10, we meet in the middle at 60. We negotiate with. The client's not happy with the cost. Let me negotiate this with him and come back to you. The client wants more hours put into this task. I need to negotiate this with the client and figure out what they expect. My manager is asking too much of me at the moment, so I plan to negotiate with my manager to figure out what is a priority and what can wait until next week. Consult with. Consult with. Now this is very similar to negotiate, except with negotiate, the idea is both parties have something they want to communicate, share, whereas consult with suggests that perhaps the person you're talking to has more knowledge or experience than you. For example, I'm sure you've all heard the term consultant. A consultant is somebody that has knowledge and experience in a particular area, a particular business, and they meet with businesses to share this knowledge and experience. So, for example, in your company, you may have different departments and you don't work in that department. So if you get asked a question about marketing, about IT, about human resources, maybe even legal issues, you don't have this information because it's not your area of expertise. So in this case, you would say, let me consult with the legal department. Let me consult with HR. I just need a couple of days to consult with the marketing department. So the idea is the person you're talking to or going to for information has more knowledge, more experience in that area. Report to. Often when you go for an interview and you're reading the job description, you will see a section that says, who do you report to? Or who will the successful candidate report to? Report to means who's above you. Who is checking that your work is accurate, is good, is a good quality, is what they expect from you. And everyone has someone they report to. Even the CEO of the company, the number one person in the company, has to report to the owner of the company. Probably the only person that doesn't report to anyone is the owner. And of course, the higher up the chain, the more people you report to. And this is always report to. I report to my boss and my boss reports to their boss. The person I report to is away at the moment. So my work is a bit easier, or I have less emails, I have less meetings every week. If you work in HR, this will be quite an important phrase for you. Who do you report to? If you don't work in HR, you might only come across it when you go to job interviews or when you're reading job descriptions. Build up. Now we can build up anything. We can build up skills. We can build up a particular skill. We can build up a company. We can build up a client base, a customer base, a student base in my case. When you build up something, it means to grow that thing. So if you're building up your communication skills, that means to grow your communication skills. We need to build up the visibility of this project, meaning we need to grow how many people are seeing, are aware of this project. We need to build up the communication skills of our team. Everyone is fantastic at their jobs, but they're not so good at communicating with new clients or bringing in new business for us. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Currently, I'm trying to build up my English skills. Contribute to. Now, to contribute means to give your input, give your opinion, give some of your knowledge, your experience, share that with your team, your group, the discussion. So just as we said, discuss as a team, discuss as a group, you might say, I need everybody to contribute to this discussion. We're discussing as a team, so I need everyone to contribute to this conversation, to give their opinion, to share their experience, their ideas, their knowledge. Contribute to. Reply to versus reply with. Maybe you can guess this one. Reply to just means to give a response. I'm going to reply to your email. I often see this mistake where people will say, I reply your email, or I will reply your email. You need to in there. I will reply to your email. I have replied to the email. I don't have time at the moment. I will reply to your email next week. Whereas reply with suggests that something is attached or something else is being sent with your reply. I will reply with the information you asked for. I will reply with the report you need. I will reply with the names of people that have signed up to our badminton team next week. Reply with means you're adding information that has been asked of you, or maybe not even asked of you. Maybe you just want to give that information to this person, to this response. Present to, present to. Now, I hope you've watched my how to present video that I posted this week. And when you are presenting, we always have to say present to. Next week, I will present to my colleagues. We can separate these and put something in the middle. I will present the new marketing campaign to my colleagues. I will present the new hours expected of us to my team. Next week, I have a presentation where I have to present the yearly figures to the heads of the company. Promote to, promote to. So we can use this in two ways. The first is if a person has been promoted. He has been promoted to lead product designer. She has been promoted to department manager. We can also use it when we're talking about promoting something rather than a person. So we need to promote this new product to the right customer base. You need to promote your English lessons to the right kind of student. Your product is fantastic. Make sure you are promoting to the right audience. Fill up. Fill up. Now, in the office, we have lots of situations where something might run out, another phrasal verb, which means to have no more, to be empty. So, for example, maybe your office gives out free coffee, but the coffee has run out. Could you fill up the coffee for us? Or free water, drinking water. Could you fill up the water tank for us? I need to fill up my coffee mug. The printer has run out of ink. We need to fill it up with more ink. Or, to be honest, you wouldn't say that. You would just say buy more ink because ink comes in cartridges. But anything where you need to add more to something, we would say fill up. Sometimes I see the mistake where people say fill up when they are talking about filling in a form or to fill out a form. We would never say fill up a form or fill up information. Fill up only refers to when something has run out and you need to add more. And my final one today is help yourself to, or help someone to. Now, help yourself to means you're welcome. Maybe there's food on the table, coffee, free coffee. Help yourself to coffee means feel free to make yourself as many coffees as you want. Feel free to make yourself a cup of coffee. Maybe somebody in your office likes to make cakes. Help yourself to cake, meaning you are welcome to try some. And that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope there was something helpful there for you. Help yourself to any of my videos on my channel. Let me know what you thought of this video down below, and I will see you next time. Have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.